You can't anticipate what consequences are going to look like. You'll try anything. And you don't need to try everything in life. You need to do the things that help you be successful. We have some news from within our Fox family.
Jesse Watters just made a shocking announcement about Harris Faulkner that no one saw coming.
Deal to hush money is now endangering Trump even more. I'm paraphrasing a little bit.
Fans were stunned as he shared the news, especially since Faulkner has always been admired for her sharp insights and strong reporting. Her sudden departure from Fox News took everyone by surprise, leaving viewers wondering what really happened. What could be the real story that Jesse didn't reveal? We will uncover the hidden truths behind Fox Channel that will make you doubt about everything you know. Why Harris Faulkner really left. One of the biggest reasons Faulkner is leaving is her growing unhappiness with the network's direction. Fox News, well known for its conservative leanings, has been making changes that affect both what they show and how they operate internally. Walter says that Faulkner has been increasingly upset by what she sees as a decline in the network's commitment to true journalism. While Fox has often been criticized for its biased viewpoints, Faulkner's concerns go deeper. Before we go further, it's clear that the truth behind Harris Faulkner's departure is far more troubling than anyone could have guessed. And this is just the beginning of what will shock you. She is particularly worried about the network's shift towards emphasizing sensational stories over solid, factual reporting. Having worked in journalism for many years, Faulkner has always promoted responsible and accurate journalism. The internal push at Fox to keep up viewer numbers rather than provide in-depth, nuanced reporting made her rethink her position at the network.
You saw in Chicago is their annual conference, so any venue that they would have booked by NABJ would have been much larger than, basically a campaign stop.
Another major factor in Faulkner's decision is the change in her on-air duties. For years, she was a staple in Fox News daytime shows, but lately her role had shifted more towards covering political topics. Although covering politics is nothing new for Fox News, Faulkner felt confined and limited, unable to explore a wider range of topics. Walter noted that Faulkner loves to dive deep into human interest stories, investigative reporting, and features about everyday people. However, the network's strong focus on political issues and the divisive way it presents news left her frustrated. Her talents as a journalist were not being fully used, making her feel restricted and undervalued in what she could do professionally. Faulkner's decision also casts a spotlight on the ongoing issues of gender dynamics within the network. Fox News has been involved in numerous high-profile cases of sexual harassment and workplace misconduct in the last 10 years. Although Faulkner hasn't spoken out about personal mistreatment, sources close to her say she was troubled by the continuous sexist atmosphere at Fox. Walter mentioned that Faulkner, being one of the few prominent women of color at Fox, felt pressured to prove herself more than her male colleagues.
Much of that falls on the shoulders of single moms, single black moms, when you look statistically. Yeah. How do you turn it around? What's your plan for the black community?
This added stress, along with the generally toxic environment, likely influenced her decision to leave. Race-related concerns also played a role in Faulkner's departure. As an African-American woman in a predominantly white workspace, Faulkner not only stood out for her skills, but also for breaking barriers in an industry often unwelcoming to women of color. In recent years, the network's approach to racial issues, both on air and behind the scenes, has been criticized heavily. Walter suggested that Faulkner became increasingly uneasy with how Fox News handled topics related to race, especially in light of national discussions about police brutality, the Black Lives Matter movement, and racial injustice in America. The network's often one-sided coverage, tailored to appeal to its mainly conservative viewers, put Faulkner in a tough spot as her personal and professional beliefs sometimes clashed with the network's editorial direction. Faulkner's leaving raises questions about what's next for Fox News and its relationship with on-air talent. The network has long been criticized for creating an environment that prioritizes loyalty to its conservative agenda over journalistic freedom.
Well, the man first and then the woman, and we feel bad about this, and then look, we work at Fox.
Walter hinted at internal tensions at Fox, where anchors are pressured to follow a specific editorial path, and those who don't are often sidelined. Despite her prominence, Faulkner wasn't immune to these pressures. Over time, the need to align with Fox's political stance might have worn her down, pushing her to look for new opportunities where she could have more control over her work. Moreover, Faulkner's departure reflects a broader trend of experienced journalists leaving major news networks in search of more freedom over their content and personal branding. As the media landscape shifts and digital platforms offer new ways for journalists to connect directly with audiences, many are rethinking their roles within large, corporate-controlled networks. Faulkner's choice to leave Fox News might indicate a growing desire for independence among journalists. With the rise of independent media platforms, subscription-based journalism, and the growing impact of social media, Faulkner likely sees a chance to interact with her audience in more innovative and unrestricted ways. Leaving Fox News frees her from corporate constraints and editorial meddling. When Faulkner left, it wasn't just about leaving TV. She was ready to change how we all see the news. Why cable news is losing its stars. In addition to her personal and professional reasons, Faulkner's departure also highlights broader changes within the cable news industry. The traditional model of 24-hour news coverage is being challenged by the emergence of streaming services, on-demand content, and alternative media outlets. Younger viewers in particular are moving away from traditional cable news and towards digital platforms that offer a broader range of viewpoints and more interactive content. Jesse Walters' detailed analysis reveals that Harris Faulkner was very conscious of the ongoing shifts in the media world. She prepared herself to be at the forefront of these changes by choosing to leave Fox News. This move likely marks the start of a new chapter in her career, reflecting the new ways people get their news and information. Faulkner's decision to step away from Fox News also invites us to think deeply about the state of journalism in America today, where the media is sharply divided by political views. Many journalists find themselves torn between following their network's demands and sticking to fair reporting standards. According to Jesse Walters' observations, Faulkner's unhappiness with Fox News wasn't just about the network. It pointed to a larger feeling of discontent with her profession. The distinction between sharing personal views and professional reporting is fading, and Faulkner's departure might be seen as a stand against this trend.
You can't have people who gossip, who are negative, who want to tear you down. You can't have people who covet what you have. If he or she wants what you have, how can they help you get what you want?
Her leaving brings up important questions about what journalists should do in today's world, how responsible they are to their viewers, and how much news is shaped by business interests. Faulkner's departure has significant effects on Fox News and its audience. More than just an anchor, Faulkner was a trusted source of information for millions of people. Her leaving creates a big hole in the network's schedule. Finding someone to fill her spot is challenging, especially as Fox News has recently seen other big names leave as well. This string of departures adds to the network's challenge of keeping its viewers and handling both internal disagreements and criticism from the public. For fans of Faulkner, her departure might be both disappointing and exciting. While many will miss her on Fox News, her decision to leave opens up new possibilities for her career and new ways to connect with different audiences. Wherever Faulkner goes next, her strong reputation as a dependable journalist is likely to follow her, and her future moves will be watched closely by both her fans and critics. The reasons for her leaving, as shared by Jesse Walter, show Faulkner as someone deeply committed to her work and willing to take bold steps to stay true to her values. Harris Faulkner's move away from Fox News is a major event not only for her career, but also for the broader field of media and journalism. As more details about her decision come to light through Jesse Walters' revelations, the impact of her decision appears to reach beyond just Fox News. It sheds light on the complex interactions within the industry and the changing expectations from the audience and news professionals.
Been to Arizona before. I wonder, okay. So newly resurfaced video now shows then Senator Kamala Harris protesting.
The unfolding story of Faulkner's departure continues to draw attention from media analysts, viewers, and industry insiders, who are all trying to understand the significance of her decision. One notable aspect of Faulkner's decision is its timing. Fox News has been a major player in American media, but it's currently navigating a changing landscape where traditional cable news is under pressure from digital news platforms and independent journalism is gaining popularity. Faulkner's decision to leave highlights the fact that even big networks with large audiences and influence are not immune to changes in the media industry. The competition for viewers is fiercer than ever, forcing networks to rethink their strategies to stay relevant. Jesse Walters' insights suggest that Faulkner had become increasingly aware of these industry-wide changes and was looking to align herself with the future of journalism rather than its past. While Fox News remains influential within the conservative news space, it struggles to attract younger, tech-savvy audiences. Faulkner's departure could indicate that traditional cable news formats are losing their appeal, even among well-established stars. By leaving Fox News, Faulkner might be recognizing that the old way of doing things, with hour-long news cycles dominated by cable, is becoming outdated. Newer, more dynamic platforms offer better interaction and flexibility for both journalists and viewers. Leaving Fox News wasn't just walking away, it was about finding her voice again after being quiet for so long. The reality behind Faulkner's choice. Faulkner's decision also raises important questions about the role of journalists in large media corporations. Over the years, the line between being a journalist and a TV personality has blurred, especially at networks like Fox, where shows often blend personal opinions with news. Faulkner, known mainly as a news anchor, also became a significant public figure with a large following. This dual role as both a journalist and a public figure comes with challenges. Networks like Fox heavily depend on their anchors not only to deliver news, but to represent the network's values and ideologies. However, as Faulkner's departure shows, this dual role can become limiting over time, especially for journalists who want to keep some independence in their reporting and editorial decisions. The growing commercialization of news is another factor that may have influenced Faulkner to leave. In recent years, the media scene has become more divided, with major networks not only competing with each other, but also with social media influencers, YouTubers, and independent journalists who operate outside traditional structures. This competition is changing how news is presented and consumed, challenging established networks to adapt or risk falling behind. In today's media world, having a strong personal brand as a journalist is almost as important as the ability to report news well. Faulkner, with her vast experience and significant influence, may have felt too restricted by the traditional corporate setting at Fox News.
So, as an AG, Attorney General of a large state, California, yes, she had a team around her, but wasn't it ultimately her responsibility to prepare for a big case that she would make on behalf of the people?
She probably wanted more freedom to shape and grow her personal brand. Jesse Walters' insights into Fowler's departure highlight ongoing cultural clashes within Fox News, especially regarding how the network treats its on-air staff. For a long time, Fox has been criticized for creating a harsh environment, particularly for women and people of color. The network has been shaken by major scandals, including accusations of sexual harassment that resulted in the exit of key personnel. While Fowler hasn't openly claimed to have faced these issues herself, her position as one of the few well-known women of color at Fox put her in a challenging and sometimes lonely position. According to Walter, Fowler felt isolated within the network's dominant culture, led mostly by white men. This sense of isolation reflects a bigger problem that extends beyond Fox News to other media organizations, which struggle with diversity and inclusion. Despite some improvements, newsrooms around the country still face challenges in representing various groups fairly, especially in leadership positions. Fowler leaving Fox News draws attention to the obstacles that even successful, invisible journalists face within organizations that have historically overlooked diverse voices. As a leader for women of color in media, Fowler's decision to leave might encourage other journalists from underrepresented groups to seek environments where they feel more respected and supported. Fowler's decision to leave also suggests a wider dissatisfaction among journalists with the state and integrity of modern journalism. As Jesse Walter noted, Fowler's issues went beyond just the internal politics at Fox. She was also upset by the industry's shift towards sensationalist, entertainment-driven news that focuses more on ratings than on deep, meaningful reporting.
I would suggest we meet the president and others halfway with this. There's nothing wrong with saying how you sourced a story. Did you talk with one? Did you talk with 50?
This move towards superficial, attention-grabbing coverage has been widely criticized in the industry, with many journalists upset about the decline of thorough investigative reporting in favor of headline-grabbing stories. Fowler's frustration reflects a broader discontent among experienced journalists who feel that the core values of their profession are being compromised by the pursuit of profits. This ongoing tension between maintaining journalistic integrity and the commercial demands of the news business has significant implications for the media industry. Networks constantly struggle to balance making a profit with their duty to provide accurate, fair, and balanced reporting. However, as shown by Fowler's departure, this balance is increasingly hard to maintain as audiences become more divided and news consumption more segmented. The emergence of niche outlets and opinion-led programs makes it tough for traditional newsrooms to cater to diverse audiences while still maintaining high journalistic standards. For journalists like Fowler, who prioritize depth and fairness, these challenges likely influenced her decision to explore new opportunities outside the constraints of the Fox News framework. Now that Fox News is behind her, Faulkner faces new challenges that might be even tougher than the ones before. When a star outgrew Fox News, Jesse Walters' insights also highlight how personal values and principles play a crucial role in career decisions, particularly for high-profile individuals like Fowler. Despite the appeal of a prominent role at a major network like Fox News, Fowler's priorities clearly shifted recently. Her discomfort with the political bias of the network and her desire to focus on stories that resonated with her personally led her to rethink her future. This shift in focus is part of a larger trend among journalists who are increasingly seeking platforms where they can have more control over the stories they cover and how they interact with their audience. The rapid development of digital media has opened up new avenues for journalists to pursue their craft independently, free from the restrictions of corporate oversight. Platforms like Substack, Patreon, and YouTube allow journalists to create content on their own terms. For Fowler, this new media landscape offers an opportunity to build a platform that reflects her values and interests without having to compromise for the sake of ratings or network politics. By stepping away from Fox News, Fowler is positioning herself to leverage her experience and influence to connect with audiences in more genuine and impactful ways. The implications of Fowler's departure for Fox News are also noteworthy. Although the network has managed the loss of other high-profile figures in the past, Fowler's exit may indicate deeper issues within the organization. Fox has traditionally relied on a core group of trusted anchors to maintain its dominance in the cable news market. Losing Fowler, one of its most respected and visible journalists, could have long-term effects. Her departure might lead to questions about the network's ability to retain top talent, especially as more journalists become disillusioned with the pressures of working in such a politicized setting. In addition, Fowler's exit could prompt Fox News to reconsider its content strategy. The network has faced criticism for its increasingly polarizing and opinion-driven programming.
Faith-based divide that they have going on over there. You know, I'm curious because there's such a frigid relationship between, at least it's been described as so.
Which, while successful in retaining a loyal viewer base, might be narrowing its appeal to a wider audience. Fowler's departure, coupled with the growing competition from independent media outlets and digital platforms, may force Fox News to explore new approaches to journalism that prioritize nuance and a diversity of perspectives. Whether the network will embrace such changes remains to be seen. Harris Faulkner's decision to leave Fox News might just be a wake-up call for them and other traditional news organizations facing similar issues. Her leaving points out how the connection between journalists and their viewers is changing in this digital era. As more journalists step away from traditional media to start their own channels, the balance of power in the industry is shifting. They're no longer dependent on big networks to connect with their audience. Instead, journalists like Faulkner can talk directly to their fans, building personal brands that outshine the old places they used to work for. This movement has been growing, especially lately, as journalists from all political backgrounds start independent projects. These projects aim to meet the desires of specific groups of viewers who want deeper, more personal content. Faulkner leaving Fox News isn't just about her career. It reflects bigger changes and challenges in journalism. Her choice to move on from such a well-known position at a big network like Fox News shows there are bigger shifts happening in TV news, the roles of key media figures, and how we will get our news in the future. To really get what's going on, we need to dig into the not-so-obvious parts of her leaving.
All right, let's start with the newest developments in President Biden's document scandal. The Wall Street Journal is reporting the Department of Justice allowed Biden's lawyers to search for classified documents in separate locations.
We should think about what her departure means for the news industry and the people who follow it. Faulkner's move highlights a shift in how journalists and their viewers relate. In the past, TV news folks were often seen as big shots because they were with big networks. But now things are changing. Thanks to social media and loads of digital platforms, journalists have new ways to reach out directly to their viewers without needing a big network backing them up. This direct line to the audience is a big deal because it changes how journalists build their reputations and how they're seen by the public. No longer just faces on a screen tied to a network. They're becoming independent voices with their own followings. Is Harris Faulkner's exit just another career move, or is there a bigger story behind Fox News that we're not being told? Share your thoughts and don't forget to like and subscribe for more.